evening, depending on where you are, and welcome to the webinar hosted by Cvent and MeetingPackage. We're going to be here waiting still 1 minute roughly to let people come. I know that it's a busy schedule for many of you, back-to-back meetings, and we all know how virtual meetings go, that they a little bit tend to run over. So let's give 1-2 minutes for everyone to join this webinar, and then we'll get started with Brian. So just a few minutes. All right, Brian, if you may mute yourself for a second, we can hear your keyboard going really well. I'm going to start now with the webinar. So hello, everyone. From my side, Jonas here, the CEO and founder of MeetingPackage. And I have Brian from Cvent, who will soon give a little bit of an introduction of himself also, and also regarding Cvent. While we get started, this webinar is all about simplifying meetings and events with the MeetingPackage and Cvent integration. And before we get started, I'll just give you a snapshot of what MeetingPackage provides and where we will focus today. So from a holistical perspective, MeetingPackage is the, so to say, CRS for meetings and events and groups, which caters and gives you products for all touch pages, meaning direct, indirect, offline or online sales, with the combination of integrating to your property systems, whether it's the PMS, sales and catering, CRM, data analytics, etc., and offering you the customer-facing ecosystem. And today we are focusing on the customer landing into Cvent channel, and what does it mean for you as a hotel? How does the bookings come there, and how you can control that within the channel manager of MeetingPackage. And now I'll hand it over to Brian to give a little bit of a snapshot on Cvent for the people who don't necessarily know.
Yes, thank you, Eunice. So I'm Brian Elliott. I'm a product manager at Cvent, and I'm excited to share a little bit more about our Instant Book product today. So Cvent Instant Book leverages integrations with popular hotel inventory providers to enable suppliers to market their live rate and availability where your planners are, the Cvent platform. Help your staff save time by automating contracting for simple and small meetings, and sell group business faster and reduce your unsold inventory. And more specifically, what you all are here today for is that we recently rolled out our latest integration with MeetingPackage, opening the door for more suppliers to begin selling room inventory on the Cvent platform. So that's kind of a quick overview of Cvent Instant Book. I'll hand it back over to Eunice to dive into venue setup.
Thank you, Brian. As you can see, we are super efficient. We are already ahead of our schedule, even with the 1 minute waiting. So ultimately, that just means that there's going to be most probably more time for a Q&A in the end. So we'll get started on the venue setup, as Brian mentioned, and how easy and efficient and quickly it is for you as a supplier. So number one, how to get started. You can see in the top, there's a book a meeting with us link in the webinar screen. So if you do that and you're not yet a partner with MeetingPackage, you can start your process from there and set up a call with our sales representatives to get started. Number one, when you get started with MeetingPackage, you need to create your venue profile. Within the venue profile, it's simple. You can just add your basics, location, facilities, photos, the terms of use, and finally your meeting rooms. In the meeting rooms, you can define which rooms you want to sell online, your number of delegates, layouts, seating order, photos, descriptions, equipments, and whether it's a combo room or not. And finally, the description of your property. Once you have done this, you need to enter pricing to your meeting rooms. You can define pricing based on hourly rates, half-day rates, full-day rates, or even minimum spend. You can also add seasonal pricing to your property. And that's as simple as clicking on the seasonal pricing, adding a start, end date, a percentage increase, or a fixed rate. If you want to sell packages, which is also supported by the Cvent integration, you go to the packages area and click on the plus sign to add a new package. Finally, ancillary revenues for your meetings and events, meaning menus, menu items, miscellaneous, catalogs, services, etc. You can just create your menu items, the descriptions, the available quantity, what is the price, what is the VAT if you're in Europe, taxation in the US, what is the unit, and where, in which rooms are you selling that service in. And finally, the service time also. Then, once you've configured that, you have now your rooms available, you have your rates, it's time to put your instant booking rules. So when do you sell instantly and which rooms are you selling instantly? And that's as simple as clicking on the rooms you want to sell online, editing it, putting a minimum lead time, maximum lead time, number of delegates, and saving it. This means that those rooms will be instantly bookable based on the parameters that you have set. You can do the same for packages. So defining your packages on how you sell those packages associated to the rooms. Next, we go to the reality that now, most probably for this first phase, if you really want to start using MeetingPackage and Cvent integration and you don't want to do the heavy lifting of yet integrating to your sales and catering or your property management software, you can start with the manual action of just blocking availability from the function diary. In your call with the sales representative, you can go more detailed into the approach of what integrations do you want to have, and that we can pull the real-time availability from your operational solutions. So let's say you're using Opera as an example. We can fetch the availability from your Opera, whether it's an OSEM or legacy Opera sales and catering, for example. And let's go down here. So instead of now integrating, in this use case, we're not going to go through the integrations that can be done in the sales call as mentioned, but here, as simple as blocking the inventory and creating a time block, because ultimately in the first phase, most probably, MeetingPackage will not be your proprietary inventory management. That will be the sales catering system or the PMS that you use today. So to accommodate instant booking in Cvent channel, you just need to time block certain rooms that you want to sell on. You can start with, let's say, limited number of rooms and just time block them, and even make a rule within your organization that these rooms are only managed in MeetingPackage, so that your salespeople, when they put it into the sales and catering, they would only block the larger rooms or the rooms that are not sellable in Cvent, as an example. Ultimately, of course, the long game and the big picture for everyone in the call is to have a direct two-way sync with your sales and catering, but eventually we all know that that's not a one-night miracle, that we need to do the connectivity in place. But for you to get started in the matter of days or even minutes, this is the easiest and fastest way for you to get started. Then once we have the inventory, we have the content, we have the pricing, we have the rules of how you sell and when it is instantly available. Now, the next thing is to go to your channel manager view, scroll down to the Cvent area. You can see that the integration is live. When you configure the integration, you can see the partner terms here. So any booking that is generated by the Cvent channel, you're opting into the Cvent instant book terms for the end customers. So please pay attention to that when you're opting into the Cvent channel. And once you opt into the channel, you can still decide on room pricing, package pricing, and catalog pricing. So when you have set a certain price for your rooms, packages, or food and beverage items, you can increase them or decrease them depending on how you want to sell in the Cvent channel. And as simple as triggering the venue visibility on, this will put a notification to Cvent as a team. And Brian will explain a little bit how that process works. But in general, when you put that, it will have a little bit of a delay on getting you actually visible. So that's not instant because there are certain actions that Cvent needs to do. But once you do that from your side, you don't need to worry anymore. That will then be applicable in the Cvent channel depending on if you already have a CSM profile or not, and there's a little bit of a lead time there. And I'll let Brian to cover that a little bit on his talk. Then finally, you've now done the configuration. You're live and selling in Cvent channel. What happens then? Well, hopefully, and in the best scenario, you will start to receive instant bookings, which of course are 100% definite already. So you don't need any actions. It's business on the books. They automatically are confirmed, and the customer has already opted into the Cvent terms of cancellation. And in this case, you will start seeing bookings in your My Bookings view or in your statistical view. So depending on how you will filter and how you use MeetingPackage, you can see it in the statistics view or the My Bookings view. And once you open a booking, you will then see the lead sources, Cvent, and all the line items and things what have been transacted, and look at the booking on record. Ultimately, again, if you don't have the sync between MeetingPackage and your sales and catering in the first phase, you would need to then create that definite booking in your application. But trust me, the workload that we're removing already in the inquiry phase, the lead generation phase, the back and forward with the customer, the work that you just put the definite booking into your sales and catering, that work is worth every second that you put it there, because it's a definite booking and revenue in the books and business on the block, business on the books. That's more or less from MeetingPackage side. So super easy, simple. I've seen use cases where the client has signed in and went live all within less than 1 hour. Of course, you need to know the pricing of your property and the descriptions and so on to be able to do that in that time frame. But it's not a heavy lifting. That's something that I just want to highlight here. As you can see, everything is supplier facing. You can modify it yourself, edit yourself. And even though you decide on the pricing today, tomorrow you can change it. And Cvent always fetches the live availability from our application, whether it's a standalone within the MeetingPackage environment, as mentioned earlier, or coming from a sales and catering integration that automatically then feeds it to the Cvent channel, as well as the pricing. If you modify in MeetingPackage, they will always receive the correspondent and recent pricing. Super simple. And now I'll hand it over to Brian to explain how it actually looks for the end customers and what is the experience from them.
Thank you, Eunice. So let me pull up my screen share here. All right, so I'm going to be walking you all through a planner's journey from searching for venues in the Cvent supplier network to instantly booking meeting space at a property. And I'm going to be playing the role of a planner who's organizing a small team meeting and in need of a venue that can host my event. I'm looking to have my event on November 19th, and I expect about 12 people to attend. So I ran my search, and I've got a list here of relevant venues for my search criteria. I'm planning a pretty simple meeting, so I'd like to save some time by instantly booking rather than filling out the RFP form and negotiating with hotels. So in the search tool, I've got the option to filter my results down to instantly bookable venues, which I've done already. And you'll notice that these venues have these purple instant book banners. And this instant book banner indicates to planners that a venue has availability for instant book along with the starting out prices. These are your venues that, like Eunice just had shown a moment ago, that the supplier has gone in and configured as instantly bookable on the MeetingPackage side. So clicking on a banner with a Book Now button or a Book Now message on it launches our shop and book workflow. So I'm going to go ahead and book now at my one of my test venues. And this brings up our shop and book experience. And this is where I can explore available room inventory, view live rates, and add my desired rooms to my booking. When I first arrive here, Instant Book pre-populates my meeting room requirements with the values that I confirmed in search a few moments ago. I'll also see a list of meeting rooms that the venue has listed as instantly bookable. So I'll get the name of each room, along with a photo carousel, a brief description of the room, as well as available setup types for that room. Meeting package integrated properties sell meeting space by the room. So as a planner, I will need to choose the specific room that I want and then configure it later to fit my needs. Before I can select a room, though, I do have to provide the time frame for which I will need it. Rooms are sold in 1 hour increments with a 2 hour minimum. And with that in mind, I will go ahead and specify a time frame of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and show my results. And I'll hop over here just to save a little bit of time. And then this gives me the actual live room availability for my dates and my time frame here. And you'll start seeing the rates here to the side. So I'm interested in this Great Wall conference room. This one could be nice. Let me select that one. And when I do that, I will see a pop-up that contains more details about the room, along with a larger picture, that full description, along with configuration options. So to select my room, I first have to pick a setup type. And these are, of course, the way that the different layouts that seating may be set up in a different room. So I'm going to choose conference for my meeting. And then next, I have the option to choose a package. So these venues, do have the ability to bundle additional add-ons alongside a meeting room in the form of a package deal. I think I'm going to pass on this, but and stick with the room rental only. But the option is here if I change my mind. And then lastly, the venue also offers a handful of a la carte add-ons for me to purchase as a part of my booking. So I'll just select a projector as a part of my my booking, and then I will hit the Add Room button to add it to my reservation. And once I've done that, my selection appears in the reservation summary in the right-hand rail of the page. If I need to make any changes to my selection, I can do that by clicking on the selected button here to reopen the pop-up. When I'm ready to proceed to checkout, I will click this Book Now button. That'll bring me to the next step of the workflow. Once I've done that, my selection appears in the summary, or I'm sorry, once I've done that, I'm brought to the checkout page, which is the last step before completing my booking. I will have that summary in the right-hand rail of my checkout page here. I first need to enter in my contact information, and that's going to be passed along to the hotel for my booking. So I'll do some test details. Put a test team offsite, November 19th, and this will be first event. And then I will enter some payment details here. And finally, I've got the terms and conditions at the bottom. So here are some key highlights for the meeting room terms. And I also have the option to view the full T's and C's doc by clicking this link. Once I agree to the terms, I'm ready to finalize the booking once I've completed my CAPTCHA here.
Just a quick note here, maybe, Brian, I'll just quickly jump in from a supplier's perspective. The deposit terms, when you read them in Cvent terms of use, when you're enabling Cvent as a channel, you can see that the verbiage is used that in a way that supplier may require a deposit, which gives you the possibility as a supplier that if, let's say, the instant booking is 3 months ahead, 9 months ahead, that if you require a deposit, you can charge that. So, of course, there's different behaviors in hotels. Some require a deposit, some don't really want to take a deposit for these smaller bookings, but it gives you the possibility to do so based on the terms that Cvent has provided.
Yep, and I just need to fix the details I've entered in here. I think I'm having some issues here, but what will happen next is I will click. I can review the details of my booking one more time, and when I'm ready to proceed, I will click Finish Booking, and that will initiate the booking workflow, where we will begin handshaking with MeetingPackage. We'll create an event object in Cvent's system, and then we will create the booking object in Cvent's system before finally confirming the booking and bringing you to your confirmation page. So here I've got a recap of all the details of my booking, including the room that I reserved, the time frame of my booking, some pricing info in this left-hand rail, and then other key details about the venue. So that is just a quick walkthrough of a planner's instant book journey with Cvent. By leveraging integrations like the integration with MeetingPackage, it's never been easier to automate your workflow. And we hope that you found this live demonstration informative. I believe at this point we can move on to the live Q&A portion.
Yeah, and a few things before maybe the live Q&A, I'll just jump in. I saw a few questions there, and I'm gonna maybe tackle a little bit of them at the same time before we go to the Q&A section. There was already a question regarding, can we sell rooms only in combination with a meeting package, or do I have to sell them also with room only? So at the moment, and this is now primarily for the MeetingPackage Cvent integration. So MeetingPackage is releasing their group booking APIs for partners like Cvent to facilitate that in the seamless one API call. So it doesn't need to be multiple transactions. So ultimately in the future, if you are logged into MeetingPackage CRS for meetings and events and groups, that allows you then to handle both group accommodation side, meeting rooms in the joint booking, or even separately. So depending on the end customer's choice. And that's something that we are releasing by the end of the year to all of our partners. And of course, that needs the fact that then our partners need to develop to the APIs, which gives some lead time on that. And of course, Cvent will then, once they have the ability to start, will give better indications of roadmaps and planning on when that will be released. And I believe, Brian, it's safe to say that we are both on the same page that will happen, and we're looking to do that integration once the APIs are in place.